And we're now very happy to be joined by Professor Mordechai Aviam of Kinneret College, here to talk about this incredible location. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So tell us where we're standing and why this is such an important part of the history of the Second Temple time.
We are standing in one of the great discoveries of Galilee during the Roman period, and maybe one of the great discoveries of entire land of Israel. In this period, we have a Second Temple period synagogue in the Galilee, the first one that was found in the Galilee, an area in which Jesus Christ was visiting, teaching, preaching. And for many, many years, people were asking, where are the synagogues that Jesus visited?
Yeah.
For example, he was reading the Torah and teaching in Nazareth. We don't have a Second Temple period synagogue in Nazareth. He was preaching at Capernaum. Capernaum, the synagogue is much later. So where are the synagogues? Finally, 2009, the first one was discovered, the first one in the Galilee. So 2009, we have salvage excavations here at Magdala, and the first building that was found is this building, which was identified immediately by the excavators and by scholars after as a synagogue, a Galilean synagogue of the Second Temple period. It was built somewhere in the first third of the 1st century CE and abandoned around the year 67 when the Galilee went into the war with the Romans. So why it was suggested to be a synagogue? First of all, because it is a public structure. The difference between a public structure and a private structure is the divisions to room. Here we have a large space, especially 2 rows of benches around the walls. It means that people were sitting here all around the building. For us as archaeologists who are trying to research and to study Jewish life in the Second Temple period, this is already enough to suggest carefully but strongly that this is a synagogue, a place where Jews gathered on the Shabbat and reading the Torah and study the law. Priests, ceremonies, sacrifice. This was the route to connect to God. The synagogues were gathering places for Jews to sit, to read, to listen to the Torah and study the law. Therefore, people are sitting together. That's the reason we identify these buildings as synagogues, as well as this one at Galilee, but here there's something else. Just a few months ago, another synagogue was found here at Magdala, another neighborhood, smaller one, not as fancy as this one. And we have, I myself excavated a smaller one in an isolated Jewish farmstead from the 1st, 2nd century. This owner built a little synagogue for his family and his workers. Again, a much smaller building, but with benches around the walls, no divisions to rooms, and that means that this is a gathering place of his people, family and workers in his farmstead.
Professor, thank you so much for your time and your very insightful explanation of Jewish life in the Galilee.
Thank you.